All right, let's predict the second round of the playoffs. Leave a like and subscribe, and we're just gonna jump into it. But first, I gotta recap the last four games that were played. I've been busy, so I had to go back and rewatch all of these. I already did that one. So basically, this game, Donovan Mitchell tried to hard carry, scored more, scored more points than the rest of his team combined. As you can see, the rest of his team only had 46 points, but the Magic prevailed. Team basketball wins, and Donovan Mitchell scored every single point of that fourth quarter. And after that game, I was thinking, all right, maybe the Magic got it. And a road team has not won in this series to this point, and it was a blowout. Yeah, Paul George and Harden are very lucky. Most of the world wasn't really watching after the first half because of other things. But we'll just move on. We got Timberwolves and Nuggets. So Timberwolves took a very early lead. I'm like, oh shoot. Then I forgot the Nuggets. They just stormed back. But the only problem is this isn't the Los Angeles Lakers. You can't just take off a whole first quarter of action. You can't just do that. It worked against the Lakers because they got like just a bunch of things wrong with that team, starting with the head coach. But it doesn't work against a well-constructed, deep playoff team. All right, so Nuggets will probably come out strong the next game, but we'll talk about that more. And lastly, today's only game, the Cavaliers versus the Orlando Magic. Now, the Cavs won. They were down 21 points, I believe. I guess only 18 points in like the second quarter. I'm like, all right, this game's over. I guess Orlando's going to Boston. And then the Cavs defense locked in, and suddenly everyone started scoring. Donovan Mitchell had a bad efficiency-wise first half. Here are the stats from the first half. No one was really hooping. D. Mitch had 15, but pretty poor shooting. Darius Garland, he's been bad pretty much the whole series. And I believe, yeah, did Jarrett Allen play? I don't think he did. Yeah, Jarrett Allen was not available, I believe. Is he? I'm trying to double check because I don't remember seeing him. But I really thought the Magic were going to come away with this. And then people started chipping in. Donovan Mitchell gave you 39 points. So what is that, like 24 more? Yeah. He was hooping. He was not going home tonight. Shout out him. Jesus. Yeah. Darius Garland still didn't play good, but hey, whatever. Donovan Mitchell got you to the promised land. Your pretty much whole plan this series was either was Donovan Mitchell, please save us. And you're lucky it worked out. I'll go into their matchup later, but huge shout out to the Orlando Magic. They had a great season. This is a young team. They'll come back better. I just think Paolo needs to, he shot 28 times, but he needs to attack the paint like more aggressively. And until he does that, he's still a good player, but he won't unlock his full potential until he realizes he's like, what is he, like 6'9", 6'10", 280 or something. He's a freak of nature, okay? Until he realizes that, then I don't know if this is gonna happen. Franz Wagner, something like that. An all-time disaster class. He shot 15 times, only made one shot, and ended with 6 points. He had the Devil's number as a stat line. Just all-time performance bad in in Game 7. I don't know if I've seen a worse Game 7 performance, like objectively, because like subjective, like when you add context, like superstars and stuff, you could say like LeBron or was it Curry had worse like playoff performances to their standard, but this is like one of the worst box scores I've seen. The team needed him and he didn't show up. That sucks. Jalen Suggs was crying, and that's what you want to see from your player, basically, just that he cares that much about his job. So we finally are back to a normal schedule of like 2 games a day, I'm pretty sure, coming up. So let's talk about each of these series. I think the second round should be really good. I think it'll be more competitive than the first round. Let's talk about the Celtics and Cavs real quick, because this one should be the shortest to talk about. Celtics, don't you dare lose more than 1 game to this team, okay? I'm giving you that 1 game because, like, Donovan Mitchell has 50. All right, whatever. But I did say don't lose more than 1 game to the Heat, and you took care of business, so good job. Can't hate on that. If they push this to 6, like, I don't know how you're going to stack up against the West team, because this Cavs team is not good. The offense is terrible. They went like 7 minutes without scoring in a game. In like game 4 or something. Jesus. Tatum needs to show up. He didn't have to because it was a depleted Heat team. He might not even have to against any team in the playoffs besides maybe like the Knicks that are left. He can continue putting up like tour dates. It doesn't matter, because the Boston Celtics are that stacked and have so much talent. So my prediction is Celtics in 5. As much as that pains me to say, I will be rooting for the Cavs, obviously. Jesus Christ, just look at this. They average a whole 12 points more. Oh wait, these might be from. Alright, it might be skewed from the last 2 playoffs. I didn't know if this was like regular season or not. Celtics will win. I think the Cavs will win, and then Celtics should just win the rest. There's nothing to really even talk about because I don't know what the Cavs can realistically do. KP should not be back this series, I believe. Unless they like rush him back if it's getting scary, like a game 6. I don't see him coming back this series. I can see him coming back the next series, but I'm just trying to think. Drew Holiday on Donovan Mitchell, and then when he's tired, throw Derek White on Donovan Mitchell. Darius Garland guards himself sometimes, so that's fine. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. I mean, oh yeah, you don't have KP. If the Cavs want to win the series, they're gonna have to attack the paint. But Al Horford turns into like a god sometimes in the playoffs, so maybe that isn't the best idea. But you're going to need Mobley to step up if you even want a chance. And how he looked in those last 2 games of the Cavs series, I don't know. I really don't know if he's capable of doing that. You have Jared Allen. I think you have a better shot. I wonder. I think Jared's healthy. But he missed like the last 3 games or so. I don't know. But Jesus. Yeah. You need your big men to take advantage of them not having Kristaps. That's about all I really have to say. I don't think the Cavs can do much, but they did come back from down like 20-something points, but that is the regular season, so I don't know if the Celtics will do that in the playoffs. Let's see. We'll talk about Pacers next. Keep it in the East. So, I was very impressed with one team, and I was very disappointed with another team, because I think the Pacers should have won in no less than 5 games. They were in dogfights with like what do they call them? The Milwaukee Herd. Game 6 was the only actual blowout they really had, I believe. Well, actually, Game 2 was getting to a blowout, I think. What was it? Damian Lillard goes down with an Achilles injury, so he was obviously not healthy. Giannis didn't play the whole series, and Chris Middleton was playing on a bum ankle, where if this wasn't the playoffs, he probably would have sat. And Bobby Portis is a dumbass and got ejected like 6 minutes into a pivotal game 4. And still, the Bucks were like hanging with the Pacers for a majority of the series. I didn't even put it past the Bucks to come back from down 3-1, because game 4, it took the Pacers like a while to, like, pretty much until like halfway through the 4th. It took them until then to really come out. And Halliburton, I liked him when he was on the Kings. I got respect for him and stuff. But I don't like how he waited until after the series to like talk his trash. Like, this is why people called him a front runner. And yeah, Jesus. Yeah, I don't like the Pacers' odds in the series, really. Although I do think they do stand a good shot against the Knicks. I think the Knicks will win in 6 games. Jalen Brunson, no one on the Pacers is going to stop Jalen Brunson. They don't have anyone like Kelly Oubre was able to do for those first 2 games until they stopped doing that. Pacers don't have anyone like that. And I just, what was it? Dante DiVincenzo open for 3. I just don't think, I think the Knicks have like enough firepower on offense to where that they could score more in stretches that the Bucks couldn't without Dame or Giannis. So Pacers do struggle to score against good defenses, and this team has very good defense. Also, the Knicks are great at offensive rebounding, but I'm wondering if it's not going to look as much because the Pacers are a fast-paced young team. So they're able to actually push the tempo, so that in the Sixers, they were like an older team. Only one that really did that was like Cameron Payne and what's his name, Tyrese Maxey. They're the only ones really pushing the pace after a rebound. So I'm wondering if they don't dedicate like everyone trying to rebound as much as they did against the Sixers. I wonder if they only have like Josh Hart trying to rebound and then they send everyone else back. Because Tyrese Halliburton's going to push the pace. TJ McConnell's going to push the pace. So will Siakam, too. So I'm wondering how they deal with that. I do think... I just think they have a better team. For a playoff setting, of course. And just in general, actually. I was very impressed with how the Knicks won the Sixers series. I thought after Game 5, I'm like, oh shoot, they might end up blowing this because Sixers could gain momentum. And they blew like a 20-point lead, but nah, they were able to stay calm. I think they're also built for the moment more than the Pacers. I think the Pacers need like another year. They need to work on their defense more. And they should be fine. Siakam, he looked very good for like the first 3 games or so. And then he was started playing not great for the latter half of the series. They need him to play really well. And I'm wondering who the Knicks will probably throw like. Do they throw Josh Hart and Anunoby? Knicks have guys they could throw at Siakam and Halliburton. So I think the Knicks will win in 6 games. Indiana's a hard place to win at. That's one of the reasons why, but I think the Knicks are capable of doing that because they're great at traveling. So as you could see in the Sixers series, people were actually cheering when Josh Hart hit that 3. It sounded like a home game. So yeah. I'll talk about this one last. I already had my opinion before this game was played, by the way. So let's talk about Thunder versus Mavericks. This is gonna be a toxic series online with Shea and Luka. Luka is obviously hurt. He looks hurt. If you don't want to say he's hurt, like it's either you're biased against him or you're not watching. He's clearly hurt. He can't even beat Zubac off a dribble. But he looked great in the last 2 games. Well, maybe not really in the last one, but he looked great game 5. Shea has looked pretty good so far. Obviously not what he looked like in the regular season, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because the Pelicans are a high-rated defensive team, and they had guys to throw at him. So I'll give Shea that. He did play good considering the circumstances. This is the Thunder's first real test because they practically got a bye week with the Pelicans team without Zion. And it's interesting, like, who they're probably going to put Dort on Luka, I assume. But then my question is, who's going to guard Kyrie? And before you tell me, oh, Shea can lock up Kyrie, he can't, bro. Like, I think the talk that Shea's a great defender is a little overblown. He's a good defender, but he's not like a stopper kind of guy, like two-way guy. But who's going to stop Kyrie? Mavs are missing Kleba for a little bit, I think. That could affect the Mavericks in the series. He was phenomenal. Like, I'm pretty sure him, Washington, a bunch of other, like, in corner threes, they were shooting, like, over 40%. It was crazy. But, this series might go 7. I want to see how Chet Holmgren is able to defend Daniel Gafford, because I saw that push, like, basically that play where Daniel Gafford just bodied Zubac and then dunked on him. I want to see how Chet's able to do that, considering Chet's a strong guy for his frame, but Daniel Gafford pushed Zubac, who's like 280 or whatever, and he's like 7 foot. Like, he just moved him like he was nothing. I'm like, all right, how's Shea gonna deal with that? Jalen Williams is gonna need to step up as well. He was stepping up throughout the last series, but they're gonna need him too. It's just obvious. And if the Mavericks role players show up, I would say Mavs in 6. But my actual prediction, I'm gonna end up saying Mavericks in 7. This OKC team is good. Okay, people like try to downplay how good they are, but they're number 1 seed for a reason. So I still am gonna pick the Mavericks. I think the Thunder have an advantage in the head coach. I would not be surprised if the Thunder win, because Jason Kidd's dumb sometimes. But it's gonna come down to star power and adjustments. Probably these teams are great. I'm pretty sure most of the regular season matchups you can't use because Luka didn't play in a couple of them. And Mavs were not the same team after the deadline, so you can't use those ones either. But this series is going to be entertaining. I'm very excited to see what happens. And let's just wrap it up with Timberwolves and Nuggets. My original prediction was Timberwolves in 7. Just because of how I was seeing how the Nuggets were playing against the Lakers. I'm like, they're not playing that great of basketball right now. In the playoffs, in the regular season, you don't notice it, that Bruce Brown is like a very big missing piece. In the playoffs, you were starting to notice it more. I think that the Timberwolves are more capable of guarding the Nuggets than the Nuggets are more capable of guarding the Timberwolves. Obviously, there's no answer for Nikola Jokic. Let me just see if I can pull up the box score. Why is it taking so long? All right. Oh yeah, Karl Anthony Towns was cooking. Just in general yesterday, but he was cooking Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon did not play his best, like it was in the Lakers series. MPJ played. He showed up. Jamal Murray did not show up, though. 0 points in, like... Did he have 0 points in the second half? I don't remember. I saw that online, but I don't remember if it's true. Nah, he hooped. He didn't go crazy. Like, I don't think he went crazy in the fourth, but could be wrong. Well, okay, it didn't feel like how it felt with the Lakers, where he was just cooking everything in sight. But Jaden McDaniels, he didn't hit shots, but hey, whatever. Just play good defense. As long as they're able to contain Jamal Murray and like the rest of the role players, the Timberwolves should be fine. Jokic, of course, just played a Jokic game. They forced a lot of turnovers from him. Now, I'm wondering, like, if this is just a habit from the Nuggets, or if this is like something they could just say, all right, we need to stop messing around and lock in, because they keep falling behind in the first half. That's what I noticed. And then they try hard, and sometimes they dig a hole too deep. Against the Lakers, no hole was too deep, basically. But against this team, there's a limit how far you can go. Ant was cooking as always. Jesus Christ, 43 points. This is his second round debut, I guess. I was thinking before the series, all right, I think the Nuggets will be able to stop Ant better than the Suns could. Apparently not. This is not. I'm not making my reaction based on what happened in Game 1. I already had a prediction, which was Timberwolves in 7, and that's just because I think this team does match up very well. They are able to, like how the Lakers were able to beat the Nuggets back in, like, what was it, the 2020 playoffs? They had 3 big men that could rough up Jokic, basically. You got Cat, you got Gobert, and you got Naz Reid that could pack the paint. Naz Reid, he did not look good in the Sun series. He looked good this game. Like, I get it, okay? He was doing things. I'm like, okay, I get why Timberwolves fans love this guy. But if Ant just keeps playing like this, obviously the Nuggets probably can slow. I don't think he's gonna go 43 like every single game. But I'm gonna go with the Timberwolves in 7. Now, usually when I pick against the Nuggets, they embarrass me, but you know what? I don't know. I love this Timberwolves team. They're so fun. I like Jokic. I don't know. Okay, fine. I'll say Nuggets in 7 just because they have Nikola Jokic. And that's really the only reason. I think these teams are pretty even, but that just gives them the edge. I think the coaching is even as well. Not a huge gap like Darvin Ham and what was his name? Mike Malone. Chris Finch is a great coach. So I'm excited to see this series, and the Maverick series I'm most excited for. The East, I could really care less about. Except this one should be good. I want to see this one. I don't care about this series at all. And after that, I guess I'll just say, I don't know. What did I pick? Dallas to win it all? Sure, we'll just stick with that. Leave a like and subscribe. And this is a long video, so thank you for making it to the end. And I will see you all next time.